Hello there, FTM Television friends. This is Nick Lawrence, and it's week 15. Topic is outing, being outed, and I have to say that it's definitely a challenge to know what the right thing is because I don't know anybody who likes being outed in a way that's unkind. And mostly I would just say that the earlier you are, the closer you are to when you start your transition, the more painful it is to be outed for me. And when I was first transitioning, I wanted to throw away all of my old pictures and that whole identity. I switched my name entirely. My new name has nothing to do with my former first name. And I wanted so desperately to grab my new life that I really didn't want anybody to know. Now, the other thing that was important was that I moved away from my hometown and lived in a completely different city. I had complete anonymity. Nobody knew me, and that really helped me. I have some friends, a friend of mine in Houston who was a junior college professor, and he stayed at work. And, from one day to the next, he went from using the ladies' room to the men's room. He sent out a memo, and that was it. And that was much more challenging for him. So if you are transitioning in your regular hometown, I can see where it would be much harder for you and not wanting people to go and share the information. But honestly, it's super juicy, okay? Especially with Chaz Bono doing what he did. It's a super juicy story, and so you can't really blame people. So all I have to say is that the farther away I get from my transition, the less it matters, and I have to accept that it's true, and the truth is okay. And I was uncomfortable with the truth for a while, but really it's what I was and where I came from. And unlike some of you, I was 45 when I transitioned, and I came out at age 17. So I lived, as a very butch lesbian for a long time, 30 years, and so I was so ready. My first shot of testosterone was like, oh, thank God, my brain, I finally had the right hormone. But that was powerful for me. But even so, I was still felt a lot of shame about who I had been living as because it wasn't me. I was so uncomfortable all those years. Anyway, I think we have to get past caring about whether we get outed or not. Because some people will be jerks and go and tell your story without your permission. And really, what I find is that as soon as I tell people about it, it becomes a non-issue. And for example, I have incredibly painful abdominal spasms that I get intermittently. And I've had to go and talk to physicians about it. I've been at business meetings where suddenly I'm doubled over in pain. And so I've chosen to tell people what I'm going through. And I find that as soon as I've told them, they're in shock, number one. But then, it's just a non-issue, and we don't really bring it up. And I'm living my life, and I'm not one of those transgender people that wears a big T on my forehead. I'm not out talking about it all the time. It's not where I want to live. As soon as I transitioned, I melded into society, whereas before I stuck out all the time, and I was so relieved to just be one of the guys. But the point is that over time, I think you'll get to the place where it's not as painful if somebody tells your story, and it actually becomes kind of humorous. And you're like, yeah, that's true. And they go, like, for me, the best compliment I enjoy receiving is, you must have been one ugly chick. And I think, I really wasn't. I was kind of good looking. But I don't say that to them, but I know that their brain cannot accept, that I was a woman in the past. And so I just chuckle and I go, yeah, I know, I really was. Now you know why. And they're like, Yeah, I don't blame you. Anyway, have a good day.